Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today we're going to be doing an analysis of Tofu's Lion. I watched this game full through and I was very impressed with just how consistent this guy is. He doesn't make mechanical mistakes, he makes the hero look incredibly good, and one of the biggest threats in Dota right now. Honestly, I think part of the reason that teams are looking at Lion, or at least Gaming Gladiators, picked it 3 out of the 4 games in the finals. And the reason why I think that is the case is because of the fact that stuns have been nerfed. At least I think this is part of it, okay? I don't think this is the sole factor, but stuns have been nerfed. Ever since 7.33, every stun in Dota was nerfed, or almost every stun in Dota. Lion, while that stands true for Lion 2, still has a ton of disable. And it's noticeable, right? This is a hero that can still provide with maxed impel is 2.2 seconds, and then maxed hex is 3.1. You're still at 5.4 seconds to disable, which is going to allow you to chain stun people, even heroes with status resistance, something that most heroes can't claim anymore, especially after the nerfs. But without further ado, let's look at the 3-time major winner Tofu and get into the gameplay. Alright, before we get into the main part of the video, I do want to let you guys know that I'm not only posting videos here on YouTube, I also frequently post videos on the website. If you don't know what I'm talking about, almost every single day I'm posting a new video to the Game League website. We're going to teach you guys in depth about how to get to the next level. So if you want to become absolutely broken and really take your game to the next level, I'm going to be able to help you, because sometimes the guides on YouTube, there's either not enough of them, they're not specific, or they're just tier lists, which I know you guys love, but at the end of the day, the Game League website is going to help you get to the next level. So click the link down below and sign up. Alright, so one of the things about Lion you have to be careful about is your base stats. Not a great HP pool, only 2 armor and 290 movement speed. Your hero is very susceptible to dying early on. The only reason he's trading extremely aggressive against Zai here is because of the fact that he knows Zai is alone. In this case, Lion's a pretty good trading hero because Impale allows you to kite incredibly well, but in any sort of 1v1 scenario or 2v2 scenario, Lion is not some incredible hero, and you need to be careful about surrounding yourself, right? What I mean by that is getting stuck in between 2 heroes. But one thing I'd really like to note is how willing he is to stun. If you're trading in the one-on-one, or if you're chasing down the enemy offlane, or whatever you're doing, you should be using your stun almost as much as you can. This ability is a nuke, a stun, and only costs 90 mana on a very low cooldown. Therefore, you should spam it. The more you use it, the more value you're going to get, the better your trades are going to be over time. So, as you'll see here, hit, nuke, hit. That's the combo. You want to hit, and then when your auto attack is on cooldown, you nuke, you stun, and then you hit again. This is it. You rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. We'll see here, he's going to continue to trade with Zai, and when Impale is back up, he will stun. In this case, he actually stuns the ground. And the reason why he stuns the ground and doesn't click on Primal Beast is you can actually stun further when you're playing Lion if you click the ground. Don't ask me exactly why, I don't know why, but it is the case. The cast range of Impale is less than how far it goes, so he clicks the ground and it barely clips the Primal Beast. From there, he drops a blood grenade and they pick up a very nice kill. From there, Tofu, because of the fact that he was left alone, has a pull camp and he's going to go pull. This is a good decision because when you go for a kill like that, you're likely going to pull a lot of creep aggro and not be able to aggro deny to keep your lane back, the carry or the support. And so he gets off a pull, he's going to make sure he gets the CS, which in my opinion is very important, right? 2 last hits on the small camp is the equivalent of actually more than, it's not the equivalent, it's more than 1 creep in the lane. And so it's very important to get these last hits. I hate when support players are nonchalant about it. I think it's a big mistake. You know, it's half of tangos or close to half of a salve if you farm up, well, it is more than half of a salve if you farm up an entire small camp. It's very valuable. Now in this lane, Tofu understands that he will die to Primal Beast if he gets disrupted. And so when the lane is in a far up position, right, when it's all the way up here, Tofu isn't even going to bother trying to play the lane, right? He understands that this is just not the time to make a move, because if he does, he'll die. Like, even here, I think arguably, if Zai went for 1-1, he would kill the Lion here. Now, do I think that's a good idea from Zai? No. It would destroy his mana pool, it's bad for trading. I mean, realistically, Tofu doesn't have to fear dying here because he knows Zai doesn't have that skill build. Because he traded with the Uproar earlier, but either way, he needs to be careful, right? He still could die if he gets disrupted close to the Primal Beast. That disruption didn't really do anything because of the fact that, well, he wasn't close to Primal Beast. But yeah, from there, one thing I like about his support gameplay is he doesn't just like go to pull, he kind of sits in an area to protect his carry. He's like here, right? So he delays or limits the window that the enemy has to go on Dyrachyo, to go on his carry, and then goes and pulls. Right, so he understands that at around 310, that's when you can start running. As you'll see, around 310 here, he'll start running to the small camp, and that gives him just enough time to get off the pole, right? And so actually it gives you more than enough time. You could probably leave it like 312. He tries to pull half of the camp, and the reason why is he wants to be able to deny all 3 creeps. And so typically you only pull 2. If you're trying to do that, it guarantees that you can deny 2 creeps fast, like very, very fast. I think he messed up, didn't mean to get 3, but either way, the idea is there. Also, one thing I'd like to note is his items. I mean, he literally has 5 different regen items, and I think that's important. If you're playing Lion, don't skimp out. Buy the salve, buy 6 tangos if you think it's necessary. Don't be afraid to buy a salve. He's got a stick. He did get an early kill, right? He had that early kill on the primal, and so that's obviously helping him his net worth. But he has 2 mangoes, he's got a clarity, he's got a fairy fire. He's playing the trade because, as I said, this hero's base stats not good. And so you need to kind of offset that by buying a lot of consumables. Like you really, really have to, as he gets another pull off. I'm honestly surprised they let him pull this much. Like really, I am surprised he got this many pulls off, but at the end of the day, he got this many pulls off. On top of that, Tofu was really good about actually stacking in the early game. Not something I would expect. The reason why is typically stacking in the early game is not a good idea because of the fact that it means you're not laning, and it can mean that your laning partner will get pressured. But I think he thinks that Shadow Demon plus Primal Beast is not a great pressure lane against Dusa, and to a large extent, I would agree. Also, because of the fact that he pulled at around 345, it basically means that the Medusa is going to be able to last it under the tower. While the Dusa is able to last it under the tower, that gives him a time window where he doesn't need to be in the lane and he can go stack, and that's exactly what he does. So it's just great efficiency. Like stuff like this shows elite level of supporting because it's just maximizing everything you can. And a lot of people will be like, oh, I stack, but like the wave is like here. Like, oh yeah, I'm stacking. I'm helping my alchemist. Why did my alchemist not carry the game when I made 14 stacks by minute 5? And meanwhile, the guy's trying to 2v1. It's all about understanding when it's safe and when the opportunity is actually okay. As he gets another pull off here, and so lane will pull back. This is the 417 pull. So once again, Deuce is okay. He pulls on the minute mark, and he'll actually be able to go for a very deep stack here. I mean, this is crazy how far he runs for the stack, but he does. And then he'll come back to the lane. It's not like he leaves and goes to stack and then gets a rune, and it's a quick stack and then back to the lane. From there, he's going to use the portal. And I love this because the Lion in the safe lane is so incredibly powerful due to this new mechanic, which is teleporting with the portal. Being able to come behind people is really powerful when you're playing a stunning hero, whether or not that's Spirit Breaker, which rose in popularity as a position 5 hero, notably by the team BetBoom, right? Popularizing the Morphling Spirit Breaker. The reason why is you can leave the Morphling alone, and then you can have your stunning roaming hero take the portal, show up behind them, and then stun them. And it's incredibly good. And look at the patience from Tofu here. He understands the Jug cannot be under the tower at 3/4 health to kill him, even with 3 heroes. It's not good enough. So he's having patience. Plays the tree line, letting Mickey get a little comfortable. Like, okay, maybe Lion's ganking me, but maybe he's not. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure Liquid has an idea that, oh, Lion's missing, but maybe he's just stacking, right? Maybe he's going for the bounty rune. Maybe he's going for the power rune. I'm probably fine. Well, joke's on you. Tofu is actually in your lane. He's going to lead with a max range impel. Typically you lead with Hex, but leading with impel is reasonable, and the reason why is it is higher cast range, and so if you click it on the ground, it is actually slightly better at catching people. But yeah, leads with the impel. From there, perfect chain stun on the Hex, like really cuts it close. But whew, good chain stun on the Hex. I mean, as I said, cuts it close, but yeah. Gets the chain stun and gets the job done. And from there, he immediately TPs to the mid lane. This is just great situational awareness because Quinn was getting pressured really hard and was counterpicked. Lone Druid dumpster Storm Spirit in lane, and we can see that. He's 900 gold behind. And Lone Druid is also a hero that likes to take your mid tower early. So if you don't bring heroes to respond, you will lose your mid tower and you will lose a lot of map control. And so he understands this concept of this mid tower is too damn important, especially against the Lone Druid who's going to want to pressure the mid lane hard and then roam to his side lane after. And that's way too easy if you take the tower. So Tofu comes in, makes a good recognition that they can just kill the bear. They get that done. I actually don't know who gets the gold. It didn't really show. Maybe they didn't get it. Maybe the creep stole it. But yeah, it's just a great play. Even Duraccio TP'd in, which shows you the priority that that Gaming Gladiators has on defending this mid tower, but I thought Tofu in particular, setting up early shows his understanding or clearly he believes that that's an important play, and I can see it. And now from here, Tofu's trying to get some XP. At this point, you're playing for your level 6 for the most part. I mean, of course you can look for opportunities. If the enemy shows on a ward or anything of the sort, you can look for it. But yeah, Tofu's gonna go mid here looking for XP. But I love this heads up play that he makes. He sees the Shadow Demon and the Mirana on the left, so he has to be careful. But he also sees that the bear is half health, and he pings to his team, hey, we can go on this bear and we can kill this bear. And that's exactly what they do, and he gets 300 gold for killing the bear and a ton of XP, so great high awareness play. Also a quick little tip, if you're struggling to hit level 6, make stacks for your carry, as long as they can take the stacks. Don't make stacks for an Animage who does not have items to take the stacks, especially if he needs the Ancients because he's having a bad game. Like if he has just the Cornucopia, then please don't do that. It's not a good idea. But yeah, if your teammates can take it, for instance, if you have a Medusa, it's a great option because now look, the Medusa is going to be able to take the stacks. You get XP just from making the stack. That's how Dota works nowadays. And he can say, hey, I need some XP. You kind of don't. Let me have some. And yeah, so he gets his level 6. He's going to come mid, try to defend the mid tower. It gets a little bit low. Surprised they let that happen. It will get taken by the Lone Druid as a result of their slow defense. Maybe they're okay with it. The early game has kind of ended at this point, the laning stage that is. And look at this smoke play. This next smoke play is very, very good. It's very fast. They're going to end up coming mid. Quinn's going to TP mid on the respawn. He's farming it up for now, just working on his Blink Dagger. His mid laner is dead, and that's typically who you're going to smoke. And so when your mid laner is dead, and there doesn't really seem to be much of a play to make, just farm up the mid lane. That's your best play. He picks up the bounty rune, and he's going to make a nice movement with Quinn. He lets Quinn farm the mid wave to start, contest the 14-minute rune, and then immediately smokes him up. And what they're looking to do here is just get a pick off with Finger of Death, right? Use the cooldown, get it done, get a kill, quick, easy, and they have an Arcane Rune, which makes this a very, very easy smoke. I think without the Arcane Rune, maybe, oh, nice, another max range stun into the Hex. No, it doesn't drop it, maybe expecting the Vortex from the Storm, which does come out. And yeah, it's a very nice kill. Now, I'm gonna be real, guys. I think the most important piece of advice I can give in this video is playing Observer Wards. As a support player, it's your job to watch the map. It's everyone's job, but it's specifically your job because you're not farming, right? You don't have that responsibility. It's your job to watch the wards and set up plays on the wards. We see a quick kill on the Mirana here, and this ward will come into play later on as well. And this is the key, right? He understands that as long as I'm set up on this ward and my team is relatively in the area, my 5 seconds of disable will be long enough for my team to catch up and connect. It's also your job to watch the map and look for numbers advantages. In Dota, I think one of the hardest things to do is say, hey, this is a 3v4, right? Primal B showed top, we have a 4v5 mid. Whatever it is, right? These are the most difficult things to look for, but it is, especially as a supporter, your job to find these opportunities. And that is maybe the best skill, that and watching your wards and learning to place good wards. These are two of the best mid to late game skills to learn, which is identifying the best plays to make, right? Guiding your team by finding numbers advantages and making the call. Whether or not that's with a simple ping or voice communication, whatever it is, just make it happen. And we'll see in this clip here a great example of that where they're going to get a very, very huge kill. They're defending top tower. That's what they're trying to do. And immediately, look at this. Look how fast he is. I'm watching the map here. Look how fast he is. This is insane. I'm going to play it back, right? He is so quick to say, oh, wow, this Primal's alone, right? They get a glimpse of the guy. One more time. They get a glimpse of the guy. And immediately the smoke comes out, right? Watching the map, Hawk scouts him out. Beastmaster's a stupid hero. They smoke it up. With a little bit of information, they expect him to play the ward or go near the ward, and they jump the ward, right? Smoking to the ward means that your initiation will likely be effective, you will not mess up, and you will get a clean and quick kill. This allows them to push forward on the map, get some deep vision down, and take this tier 1 tower, which is pretty key for their game progression. Now, this last fight or a few plays of the game are really crucial, and I just love the movement from Gaming Gladiators. The first movement we see is Juggus farming bottom. They pop a smoke from the middle of the map, and this is really nice because all 3 of their lanes are pushed out. Well, 2 lanes are pushed out and they're about to push out mid. That's where they are. So they're gonna have 3 lanes pushed out, and this is going to allow you to make a play because people are showing in lanes pushing out the lanes. Mirana is top, Juggus bottom. Honestly, I would argue Mirana should just not show top because once she shows top, they're just kind of thinking Gaming Gladiators is like, yep, we're taking the fight. It's 4v5. Well, at best for Team Liquid, it's 4v5. Realistically, it's going to be like 2 or 3v5. And so, well, I guess Duracio's not here. But they go in. He's going to look for a deep ward. Now you see the Primal Beast top 2. The warding's incredible here. They also have a Hawk on mid, so they know no one's there. And so they're going to go for a deep ward. He's trying to read out the Jug's movements, expects him to be on this high ground, blinks. It was a really nice blink because he would have been able to catch him by coming around the tree line and just barely getting vision. But either way, they don't find the kill. It's fine. They get a nice deep bottom ward. They see the lone druid top, and they're like, okay, it's time to go bottom, right? At this point, he just has to position defensively, and I will say I don't think he does the best job of that. Like, life draining or mana draining there makes, in my opinion, absolutely no sense. Wait, was he getting rid of a Medusa illusion? Is that a what? Yeah, okay. So he was life draining a Medusa illusion. Both of them, okay. So that makes a lot of sense. With the shard, you can life drain up to 3 units, and it kills illusions. It's a complete counter to the Shadow Demon, which is, I think, is actually a big reason they picked Lion this game. It's a really hard counter to the Shadow Demon counter to Medusa, right? Because you just life drain the illusions and it's gone. On a 4-second cooldown, you counter dispersion. So, and you become spell immune, which is nice for a short period of time. If you're killing illusions, it's very short. Either way, fight breaks out, he gets jumped, saved by Ace, and kites out to the side. I like his movement here. Doesn't panic, doesn't instantly try to hex, just says, okay, BKB Primal is on me, I can't kill this guy, go up the hill. I even would have liked to see him maybe take the high ground there, like literally walk up the high ground, but he does a great job. This reinitiation is beautiful. Oh my, and the finger on the Shadow Demon near solo kills him, gets the W off, doesn't even let him resummon the bear, and yeah, Liquid falls. So just clean gameplay, right? What a stun. Great patience, finds the opportunity, doesn't overforce, you know what I mean? Lets Liquid run into them, is able to kite out, reinitiate, find the angle. It's good stuff. But alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed and learned quite a bit about Tofu's Lion. I definitely didn't even think initially when I was making this video about the Lion versus Shadow Demon matchup, but it's great. It's not great in the regard that Shadow Demon can save from your disables, but being able to life drain the Medusa illusions, which is why they picked Shadow Demon and Medusa, is just such a hard counter. So absolutely love it. But alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the Game Leap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.